Lesson 1.1, Whole Number Operations. In this video, you'll learn how to decide which operation is needed to solve a problem. You will review adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing multi-digit whole numbers. We will be solving problems using the four basic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The table shows the four operations and the corresponding word cues and algebraic forms for each operation. For example, for the operation of addition, you may see the words the sum of, and it is commonly written in the form a plus b. Subtraction is the difference of, written as a minus b. Multiplication, the product of, written as a times b. And division, the quotient of, a divided by b, a as a fraction of b, or a under the radical sign with b as the divisor. Here's example 1. We're going to work with adding and subtracting whole numbers. The bar graph shows the attendance at a 3-day art festival. So the question on A is asking what is the total attendance for the art festival. First, I'm going to look at the table at the left. The x-axis is labeled day. So on the x-axis, or horizontal axis, I am seeing day 1, day 2, and day 3. The y-axis, or the vertical axis, is labeled number of people, and it's showing those groups of people in groups of 500. So I can see that on day 1, I have 2,570 people in attendance. Day 2, 3,145. And day 3, 3,876. I want to find the total attendance for the 3 days. The phrase total attendance tells me that I need to find the sum. So I'm going to line up the numbers for days 1, 2, and 3 by their place values and then add them. Day 1, 2,570 people. Day 2, 3,145 people. And day 3, 3,876 people. And I'm going to find the sum, which is an addition problem. In the ones column, 5 and 6 is 11. Regrouping that extra set of tens into the tens column, 7 and 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18, plus 1 more is 19. Regrouping that into the hundreds column, 8 and 5 is 13, 1 more is 14. The one I regrouped is 15 hundreds. Regrouping that into the thousands, 3 plus 3 is 6, 2 more is 7, 8, and 1 more is 9. So I have 9,591 people in attendance for those 3 days. The second question, what is the increase in attendance from day 1 to day 2? I want to find how many more people attended on day 2 as it compared to day 1. So the phrase how many more tells me that I need to find the difference between day 2 and day 1. Since I'm finding the difference, that tells me I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to take 3,145 from day 2, subtract the 2,570 from day 1. That will give me the difference. Subtracting 5 minus 0 is 5. 4 minus 7, I need to break that 100 into 10 groups of 10, giving me 14 tens minus 7 tens, or 7 tens left. Now I have 0 hundreds minus 5 hundreds, so I need to take 1,000 and break it into 10 hundreds. 10 hundreds minus 5 hundreds is 5 hundreds, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So the increase in attendance from day 1 to day 2 is 575 people. Example 2, multiplying whole numbers. A school lunch contains 12 chicken nuggets. 95 students buy the lunch. What is the total number of chicken nuggets served? So I want to find the total number of chicken nuggets in 95 groups of 12 chicken nuggets. 95 kids, 12 chicken nuggets each. The phrase 95 groups of 12 indicates that I need to find the product of 95 and 12. So 12 times 95. Multiplying 12 by the ones digit 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5, plus that one is 6. In the tens column, multiplying the 12 by the tens, 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. and adding those together. 1,140 nuggets were served. Example 3, dividing whole numbers with no remainder. You make 24 equal payments for a go-kart. You pay a total of $840. How much is each payment? I want to find the number of groups of 24 in $840. The phrase groups of 24 and $840 indicates that I need to find the quotient of 840 and 24. To do this, I'll use long division. Thinking back to elementary school, some of you may have learned the acronym Dirty Monkeys Smell Bad. Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. I will use that as I do this long division. My dividend is 840. My divisor is 24, and what I am finding will be my quotient. So the first step is to divide. How many groups of 24 are there in 8? There are none, so I need to go over to the 84. How many groups of 24 are there in 84? I believe there are 3. That's the divide. The multiply is 3 times 24. Three times 4 is 12, and 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. 3 times 24 is 72. The next step is to subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 8 minus 7 is 1. And the last step is to bring down. So I'm bringing down that next number. And then I go back to the top again with my division. 24 into 120, how many groups would that be? I believe 5. 5 times 24. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. That's my 120 on the dot. Subtract, nothing more to bring down. The quotient of 840 and 24 is 35. So $35 is what each payment would be if you made 24 payments and had a total of $840. Example 4. A 301-foot-high swing at an amusement park can take 64 people on each ride. A total of 8,983 people ride the swing today. All the rides are full except for the last ride. How many rides are given, and how many people are on the last ride? To find the number of rides given, I need to find the number of groups of 64 people in 8,983 people. The phrase groups of 64 people in 8,983 people tells me that I need to find the quotient of 8,983 and 64. So again, I'm going to do my dirty monkeys smell bad and repeat process. So 8,983 is my dividend. My divisor is 64. Starting with the divide. 64, there are no groups of 64 and 8, so I'm looking at 89. How many groups of 64 are there in 89? There is just one. Multiplying 64 times 1, I get 64. That's the multiply. Subtract is next. 9 minus 4 is 5, and 8 minus 6 is 2. And the bring down. $258. How many groups of 64 are there in 258? There are 4 groups of 64 in 258. 64 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 1 more is 25. So 4 times 64 is 256. I'm to the subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. The rest are zeros. Bring down that last 3 and go back to divide again. How many groups of 64 are in 23? There are no groups of 64 in 23. Oops. Subtract. So I have 140 rides that have 64 people in them. and then one ride that had 23. So in all, I have 141 rides, and the last ride had 23 people in it.